your mind is powerful. Welcome back. Ready for more tools to, like, sharpen your mental game?
Absolutely. In part 1, we explored all that like big picture stuff.
The foundation.
Yeah, the foundation, like neuroplasticity, the power of purpose, building that cognitive ecosystem.
Right.
But now I'm ready for like the actual strategies.
Yep. Let's get practical.
Yeah, what can we actually do
Okay.
to boost our mental clarity in like daily life?
Let's start with something we all do constantly, making decisions.
Decisions, yeah.
Dr. Patel says even small decisions can be mini mental workouts.
Interesting. I usually find making decisions kind of draining.
Yeah, especially when there are a lot of options.
Tons of options.
But it's about training your brain to be more decisive.
Okay.
When we hesitate or overthink every little choice, it creates mental clutter and drains our energy.
So it's like our brain is a computer with
Too many tabs open.
too many tabs open. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, it slows everything down.
So how do we become more decisive? Like, are there any techniques?
Both sources suggest setting time limits.
Time limits. Okay.
Yeah, like say you have 5 minutes to decide what to eat for lunch.
Okay.
That forces you to focus and make a choice.
But isn't that adding stress, like a time limit on top of everything else?
It can feel that way at first, but it's like building mental muscle.
Okay.
You'll get better at making choices quickly,
Even when it's like more important.
even when the stakes are higher.
So it's a skill.
It is.
You practice, it gets easier.
And the benefit is a less cluttered mind,
A less cluttered
a
mind.
more efficient mental process.
Okay, I can get behind that.
So this applies to more than just lunch.
Yeah.
Like limit your scrolling time, pick an outfit quickly in the morning.
Okay.
Small wins add up.
Small wins add up. I like that. Okay, so what about focus and concentration?
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Minimize distractions.
Okay, easier said than done.
I know, especially at work.
Especially at work, yeah.
Dr. Morrison says, create a dedicated workspace if you can,
Oh,
even if it's just a corner of your kitchen table.
right.
Turn off notifications, silence your phone,
Yeah, get rid of everything.
anything that pulls you away.
Yeah, I'm so guilty of getting sidetracked by every notification.
It's like we're wired for it these days.
We are, yeah. It's like my brain just like,
It's like a Pavlovian response.
yes, to every buzz and ping. But even when I try to eliminate those external distractions, I struggle with like my own thoughts,
Yeah.
pulling me in different directions.
That's where mindfulness comes in.
Mindfulness.
Yeah,
isn't
Dr.
it?
Patel says it's not just about meditation.
Yeah.
It's about being present all day long.
So paying attention to our breath, our senses, like everyday moments.
Exactly.
But how does that help with focus?
You become more aware of those thoughts without judging them.
Okay.
It's like watching clouds drift by.
Okay.
You see them, and you gently redirect your attention back to your task.
That sounds a lot easier than it actually is.
It takes practice.
My mind is like a whirlwind sometimes.
I get it.
So are there any techniques to like integrate mindfulness into a busy day?
For sure.
Yeah.
Even something as simple as washing dishes,
Okay.
instead of letting your mind wander,
Yeah.
focus on the feel of the water, the smell of the soap, the movements of your hands.
So it's about finding these little moments of presence
Yeah, just little moments,
throughout the day.
even in your routine.
I like that. It makes it more accessible.
Okay, so now what about memory?
Oh.
Memory.
Any tips for improving that?
Yeah, I need all the help I can get.
Both sources say that passively learning doesn't work.
Okay, so no more just reading something once and hoping it sticks.
You got to actively engage.
Actively engage. Okay, so I should be taking notes, summarizing, quizzing myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is where Dr. Rodriguez's cognitive ecosystem comes back in.
Okay,
When you have a reason to learn something,
a purpose.
yeah, a purpose.
Okay.
Your brain remembers it better.
So it's like it has a hook.
Yeah, it's meaningful.
It's meaningless.
Not just random facts.
Not just random facts. Okay.
Well,
What about
Dr. Morrison also talks about spaced repetition.
spaced repetition? What is that?
It's reviewing information at different intervals.
Okay.
So instead of cramming for a test,
You review the material a few days later, then a week later, then a month later.
so each time you review,
It reinforces those connections.
it reinforces those connections. It's like making those pathways stronger.
Exactly.
That makes so much sense. I always forget stuff after just one study session.
I know. It's like your brain hits delete.
It does. After the test is over,
But with spaced repetition,
yeah.
it sticks with you.
Okay. I'm definitely trying that.
You can use flashcards, make quizzes,
Okay.
even just reread your notes.
So just keep coming back to it.
It's coming back.
Different intervals.
Yeah, space it out.
Okay, that's going in my learning toolkit.
All right, let's move on to something more fun.
Okay, what's more fun?
Creativity.
Creativity? Okay.
Can we actually get more creative?
That's a good question. Are we just like born creative or?
Both sources say anyone can be creative.
Okay.
It's about nurturing it.
Nurturing it. Okay.
Dr. Patel talks about beginner's mind.
Beginner's mind. What is that?
It's approaching things like it's the first time you're seeing them.
Okay.
Like a child.
Okay.
Full of curiosity.
Okay, so like with a sense of wonder.
Wonder and openness.
I love that.
Let go of your assumptions.
Yeah, just be open to like new possibilities.
New possibilities. Allow yourself to be surprised.
I took an improv class a few years ago.
Oh, fun.
It was terrifying at first.
I bet.
But once I let go of trying to be funny and just like embrace the silliness.
Yeah, just have fun.
That's when the creativity came out.
That's awesome.
It was like I had to get out of my own way.
Yeah, you got to get out of your own way.
Yeah.
Dr. Rodriguez says, do things that stimulate the right side of your brain.
So that's the more creative side.
The more creative, intuitive side.
So things like listening to music, drawing, dancing.
Even daydreaming.
I usually associate those things with relaxation.
Exactly.
Not with like boosting my mental capacity.
That's what's so cool.
Yeah.
It's not about forcing creativity.
Right.
It's about creating the space for it.
Yeah, just letting it happen.
Letting it happen naturally.
Okay, I like that a lot.
Nurturing your whole self.
The whole self.
Not just the logical side.
Okay, I want to talk about social connection for a minute.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, both sources brought this up.
Dr. Patel talks about dialogic thinking.
Dialogic thinking.
Having those deep conversations that challenge you.
So not just small talk.
Not just chit-chat. So like,
really?
get in there.
Getting in there, yeah.
Yeah, seeking out different perspectives, really listening.
I always feel more energized after a good conversation.
Me too.
Like with someone who challenges me to think differently.
Yeah, it's like a mental workout.
It is. Okay, so we've got a whole toolkit of strategies now.
Me too.
To like enhance our mental clarity. But what about when we hit a wall?
Oh, yeah.
Like when we feel stuck, unmotivated.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Or even foggy after trying all this stuff.
Right.
What then?
That's a great question, and that's actually what we're going to talk about
Okay.
in part 3.
Okay, so stay tuned for part 3.
We'll talk about self-compassion,
Okay.
reframing your mindset,
Okay.
and overcoming mental blocks and procrastination,
Okay, so gearing up for the next level.
the next level of mental training.
Okay, so listener, what resonates with you? What small step can you take to cultivate a more mentally stimulating life? All right, welcome back for the final part of our deep dive into unlocking our mental potential.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have, yeah, from neuroplasticity to the power of purpose to even like those ninja level techniques for boosting focus and memory.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
But what happens when we just hit those like inevitable mental roadblocks? You know those times where you're just feeling stuck, unmotivated, or just plain foggy even after you've been trying all these techniques?
So I think it's important to remember that it's normal.
It is normal,
to experience these things.
It's part of being human.
We all face challenges.
Yeah, we're not robots. We're not perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's about how we deal with those challenges.
Okay, so instead of beating ourselves up for not being perfectly productive or focused all the time, we should maybe cultivate a more supportive inner voice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Both Dr. Patel and Dr. Rodriguez talk about self-compassion.
Self-compassion. Okay.
Especially when we're struggling.
So it's about treating ourselves with the same kindness that we would offer to a friend.
Exactly.
Who is going through something similar.
Yeah.
I think that's something that a lot of us struggle with.
I know, it's hard.
We're our own worst critics.
It's so easy to be hard on ourselves.
Yeah. So how do we actually shift from that self-criticism to like a more compassionate approach?
It starts with just noticing those negative thoughts.
Okay.
And gently challenging them.
Okay.
So instead of saying, I'm so lazy, I'll never get this done.
Right.
Try saying, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed right now, but I can break this down into smaller steps.
Okay.
And make some progress.
So shifting from that all or nothing thinking to a more
realistic
and encouraging, encouraging perspective. Yeah. Okay, so progress isn't always linear.
No, it's not.
It's like we're allowed to have off days.
We are human.
Yeah.
It's about accepting those ups and downs.
The ups and downs, yeah.
And being patient.
Patient with ourselves.
Exactly.
Okay, let's dive into some specific strategies for overcoming these roadblocks.
All right, let's do it.
What can we do when we're feeling stuck or just completely unmotivated?
Dr. Morrison suggests going back to your purpose.
Okay.
That why. behind what you're doing.
Your why, yeah.
When we forget that, it's easy to feel lost.
Lost.
Yep.
Yeah, and directionless, and that can definitely sap your motivation, yeah. I know when I'm working on something that feels meaningless, it's so much harder to stay focused and engaged.
Totally.
But when I can connect back to the bigger picture, the reason why I'm doing this...
It reignites that spark.
It does reignite the spark, yeah. Okay, what about Dr. Rodriguez? What does she suggest?
She says set realistic goals.
Realistic goals.
Okay. When we set the bar too high,
yeah.
or try to do too much at once, it leads to overwhelm. And procrastination.
Yeah. I've definitely been there, and it never ends well.
That's not a good feeling.
So instead of setting ourselves up for failure, we should break those big goals down.
Smaller steps.
Into smaller, more manageable steps.
Yes, much more manageable.
It's like building a staircase to the top of a mountain instead of trying to just leap there in one bound.
I love that analogy.
Yeah, much more manageable.
So much better.
Okay, so what about when we're dealing with a specific mental block?
Oh, yeah.
Like writer's block or just a creative slump?
Yeah, those can be tough.
It's like hitting a wall and it's just so frustrating.
Both sources say just step away from the problem.
Okay.
For a little bit.
Okay, so take a break.
Yeah, give your brain a break to reset.
Okay.
Like rebooting your computer.
Okay, so going for a walk, listening to music, doing something totally unrelated to the task at hand.
Yeah, relax, de-stress.
You might come back with a solution.
You might be surprised.
Yeah.
The solution just pops into your head.
It's like you're giving your subconscious mind a chance to work on it in the background.
It's amazing how our brains do that.
Yeah, well, our conscious mind is taking a break.
Yeah.
I have definitely experienced that aha moment after taking a walk or a shower.
The best. Okay, what else?
Dr. Patel also suggests doing activities that stimulate the right side of your brain.
The more creative side.
The creative, intuitive side.
So things like listening to music, drawing, spending time in nature.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those can unlock those creative pathways.
Okay.
Loosen up those mental blocks.
Like giving your right brain a chance to play while your left brain takes a nap.
I love it.
Yeah.
So important to nurture our whole selves.
Yeah.
Not just the logical side.
What about procrastination?
Oh, procrastination.
That's my personal nemesis.
Dr. Rodriguez has a good tip for that.
Okay, what is it?
The 5-minute rule. The 5-minute rule.
Yeah.
Okay.
Commit to working on something for just 5 minutes.
5 minutes, that's it.
That's it.
Okay.
It's so simple.
It seems too simple.
But it works. Once you overcome that initial resistance,
that inertia,
you get into a flow.
Yeah, you get in the zone.
And you keep going.
It's like you just have to lower that barrier to entry and take that first step.
Just that first step.
Even if it's tiny.
Even if it's tiny.
Okay, so as we wrap up this whole deep dive, what are some final thoughts, some key takeaways for our listeners?
The biggest takeaway, I think, is that this is a journey.
It's a journey, yeah.
Unlocking your mental potential is not a destination.
Yeah.
It's about constantly growing.
Yeah.
Embracing challenges.
Yeah.
And strengthening your mind.
Yeah, it's not about achieving some perfect state of mental clarity.
No.
It's about continuously evolving.
Yes.
Expanding our horizons.
Love it.
So it's a process.
It's a process.
Yeah. And we're not alone on this journey.
We're all in this together.
And we're all going to face those mental hurdles, but we can do it.
We can.
We can navigate those challenges and unlock that incredible potential.
That's within all of us.
Within all of us.
Absolutely.
Listener, we hope you've gained some valuable insights.
And a tool.
And some practical tools.
Yeah.
To enhance your mental clarity.
Your focus.
Your focus and your overall cognitive function.
Remember.
Yeah.
Your brain is capable of amazing things.
It is.
Keep learning.
Keep learning.
Keep exploring.
And keep unlocking.
Incredible power of your mind.
Yes. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into unlocking your mental potential.
It's been fun.
It has been fun. Until next time, stay curious and keep those minds sharp.